Good evening, guys. One more thing we're going to talk about today on yet another, and many more videos in Millennial Waterfowl that a lot of guys do a lot of reviews on is the right shotgun for you. No, not you, me. Okay, me? No, you. You? Okay, me. No. Okay, so one thing that I've been seeing a lot that I'm going to throw my opiniano down on is what shotguns everybody's using, what brands are becoming popular, and what do I use? Everybody wants to know, what do I use? And maybe not everybody right now. Look at my subscribe list, but maybe you guys want to know. So let's take it to day one. My shotgun got stolen. You guys all know about that. I've had 5 shotguns, and that's including the one I have now. I started out with a what was it? A Mossberg Maverick Model 88 from No, I didn't get it at Walmart. I bought it at a pawn shop, brand new, in the box, for an iPod Touch. I bought it for an iPod Touch. I got an iPod Touch for Christmas, didn't want it. You guys know the story. Well, I sold that gun like a season after I had it. It rusted out. I didn't really know how to take care of it. Wasn't like the worst gun in the world, but it wasn't my cup of tea. Wasn't for me. You know, if you've shot one, you know. Some people love them. Some people swear by them. I mean, whatever. So then I got the Remington 870. No, I lied. For Christmas, I got the Supernova Max 4 at the time. 12 gauge by Benelli. Love that gun. Like I said, I shot quite a few limits of birds with that gun. Excuse me. I shot quite a few limits with that bird gun. I shot a lot of things with that gun. I shot turkey with that gun. I shot my first turkey with that gun. Miriam, nice beard. And moving on, I shot. After that, that gun got stolen, obviously. That was my second shotgun. I had that for years. I bought a Beretta A300 Outlander, all black. And I had that for a season and a half. And I ended up trading it for a pistol and a Remington 870. Yeah, I traded it for a Glock 9mm. I think it was a Glock 19, I want to say. Pretty sure it was a 9mm. I'm not sure if it was a 40 or what pistol caliber, but that's irrelevant. Anyway, so I had the Beretta, got rid of the Beretta. Nothing wrong with the Beretta. Love that gun. That gun shot great. That was a really good gun. The guy I sold it to still has it to this day, loves it. I had the Remington 870 for a season, and all you Remington 870 fans out there ain't gonna like me, but I didn't like mine. I'm not gonna say that they're junk, because it's kind of like a car, I guess you could say, in a very small scale way. I mean, I guess I got a lemon. I don't know. It was next to brand new when I got it. Didn't have no scratches on it. Didn't have any wear in the cylinder. Didn't have any wear on the trigger guard or the pump or nothing, and it was camo. It looked sweet. Didn't shoot too bad, but I had a lot of issues with it cycling. I had a lot of issues with it jamming. Now, folks, I know you're gonna say, I swear by my 870. I've shot that thing since I was 12 years, blah blah blah. I'm not knocking them, folks. I'm really not knocking the 870. I just didn't like it. I didn't like the way it looks. I don't like the way Remington 870s look. And that's not because of any other reason than my own personal opinion. They just don't look that great to me. They don't feel that great. Obviously, they're a great starter gun, I guess, or they're a great lifelong gun for you, if you like them. That's fine. It's not that I wouldn't recommend it to someone, because I have, and I have gotten someone one, but they had the exact same results I have. And I don't know if it's like 2016 up, they're just doing something different than they did in the years past, because I've got guys that said they've had their 870s since they were, 10, 15 years old, and, they've shot thousands and hundreds of rounds through them, and they just never quit, and they work great, and that's fine. I mean, I'm not knocking you at all if that's what you love, getting off the Remington 870 subject. Which brings you to my new subject. I got rid of that 870 for a lot of great reasons. I shot at a teal with that gun, and it just like fell apart. I'm not even kidding you. The trigger or the slide that holds the shell that sits on, just completely, I don't know, it just fell out. It was put together, it was taken to a gunsmith. I mean, I did everything to this gun. I don't know what was wrong with it. I mean, I cleaned it, I took care of it. It wasn't a good gun for me. I don't know why. I took care of it. Like I said, I can go on and on. I put oil in it, I lubed it, I didn't keep it drowned, I didn't keep it too moist, I made sure the barrel was clean, I tried different loads, I tried different sizes. I went from 3-inch to 2 3/4, obviously 3.5. I mean, guys, it just didn't work for me, okay? It just didn't work. I got a lemon on it. Now, what am I shooting? So we've had the Mossberg, we've had the Benelli, we've had the Beretta, we've had the Remington 870. What am I shooting now? Because I still have it. It's sitting in the house right now. And I'll show you. I'll go grab it. Let's go grab it real quick. It's just right here. What's in there? Obviously, I've had this case for a very long time because it is worn and old, and I love this case. It's not waterproof, it's nothing fancy, it's nothing special, but it's what I got. So, this is the gun I'm shooting. What is it? Can we take any guesses? Can we take any guesses on what this is? Now, this gun, let me give you a little insight on this. I bought this gun. It was all black. I put my own paint job on it. A lot of people like it. I haven't really talked to anybody that said they didn't like it, but I'm sure I will. I clear coated it. I did everything all myself. This is all my work. I'll give you guys the full view of the gun. This is a Turkish gun, which a lot of you guys may know already just by looking at it. This is a Raptor. It's chambered in 12 gauge, and it's got a wicked choke on the end of it. It is a Raptor 12 gauge TriStar. And everybody's like, geez, how do you go from a Beretta to a TriStar? Well, I took a gamble on this gun. I bought this gun brand new for like $430 or whatever it retails for, brand new. And I've had one issue. The pin right there, or the charging handle or bolt handle, whatever you want to call that, that fell out like the very first ton I ever had on it with. And they have a 5-year warranty on them from buying them. It doesn't matter what dealer you buy it from, as long as you buy it from a distributor, brand new, you got a warranty. So I called them up and I said, hey, like, what the heck, like, charging handle just flew out. I shot it like twice. That's the only problem I ever had with the gun. You know, knock on wood, I don't know. That's what I had the issue with. They sent me a new one, rush, because it was hunting season. They sent me a new one. I got it in a day. I called them on a Monday. It came like Tuesday or Wednesday. I want to say maybe 2 days. It was really, really, really fast. And I haven't had any issues with the gun ever since. None. It's fancy. I mean, I put a little paint job on it, but heck, that ain't hard to do. I put a really good choke on it. I don't know if you guys know. I just put a extended modified by Kicks. I have to have that. That is my choke of choice. That never comes off. It obviously will spin off because I put that stuff on it, so it'll spin. But that just sits in there like that, and the insert's extended. It's supposed to sit lower, I guess. I don't know. But I've put probably 10 boxes through it, a case, and a bunch of, dove loads, and I've even put a couple slugs through it. But it works. And a lot of you guys, I put a clear coat on it. It looks great. The finish holds. I took everything apart. It doesn't look horrible inside. As we can show you that it is unloaded. There's nothing inside there. It is clean. It's unloaded. It's safe. Never leave my guns loaded. But you look in there. I mean, it looks really good. Paint's not wearing off on it. They sent me a new one of these charging handles. As the only thing that has the slightest bit of wear on it, and that's from me pulling it back, obviously, and racking it forward. It only shoots 2 3/4 and 3 inch. I don't shoot 3 1/2. I got a bad shoulder. It's actually injured right now. I got hurt, and it's been down and out, and it's not in the best of shape. But that's what I shoot. It's like I really want to say it's like $430. It might be even cheaper wherever you are. One thing I will recommend, if you do buy one of these guns, you buy them brand spanking new. Because there is a break-in process that a lot of people don't know about, or do know about and don't do correctly, and that's why they have the issues they have. I'm sure it's like that with Remington. I don't know. I bought this gun. I stuck 3 inch nitro, Remington Nitro 2-shot. 10 boxes of it. That's all I shot out of it. Nothing more. Occasionally, a crap shell or something like that, but cycles just fine. No problems. I hunted all Colorado with it. Northern Colorado. I hunted it in 3-degree weather. I came down and hunted it in Oklahoma with, in the 30-degree weather, freezing, on the ice. I've hunted it in all temperatures. I really have. -9. I've had 2 -9 hunts with this gun. Snow. I take care of it. It works just fine. And again, some of you guys would swear up and down it's just like my Remington. It's junk. It doesn't work. But it works just fine for me. I don't know. A lot of you guys are going to develop your own opinion, but my point in all this isn't, why do I only shoot a $400 gun and I've been hunting 10 years, or why don't you have like a $1,500? I don't need it. I want it, but I don't need it. This gun is great. For me right now, it works just fine, and that's the biggest point I want to bring up to you guys is consistency. There's a lot of guys that go out and waterfowl hunt that'll shoot two guns a season. They'll take their over and under out, and then they'll take their semi, or they'll have a semi, and then they'll take a pump. Or if you're consistent with the same gun you shoot all the time, with the same load all the time, you're going to be more of a consistent shot. You have to have a baseline. And that's what I like to tell a lot of guys is, I got a buddy of mine that, dude, he goes through guns like you wouldn't believe. Like, he probably had 3 different shotguns last year. I don't know if that was due as too much as a financial thing, or if that was more of a preference. I didn't really ask, but it seemed like every couple of hunts he had something different, and he just couldn't get it down. And I told him, you shoot the same shot size, you try to shoot the same distances with the same gun, and you're going to get better results because your body's getting used to the feel, the whatever you want to call it, and you're going to do better, I promise. And that's what happened with me. I've always stuck to the same gun. Whatever I had, I tried to keep it for a long time unless I absolutely didn't like it. The Outlander, it was just a smoking deal from a buddy of mine that I needed. I needed a firearm at the time for work, for the type of work I was doing, and that worked out. So that's why I got rid of the A300. I regret selling the A300, but I don't. I mean, it served its purpose. It got me through, and it kind of showed me like, hey, you know, back to the $600-700 gun range. This is the kind of quality gun you're getting. And again, I didn't have any issues with the A300, and I didn't have any issues with the Benelli. I wore the firing pin down on the Benelli, but that's because I shot it a bunch. But this gun has had 2 seasons under its belt. The choke has had a season and a half under its belt. I put a paint job on it this spring, just because, you know, just to spice up the black. I watched a couple videos and knocked this paint job out, but it doesn't kick really bad at all, and it's stupid light. And a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people like a good heavy gun, you know, to be stable, but I mean, it's balanced really good. This is a really, really, really great tool. And I ordered an optic for it for waterfowl hunting. I'm going to give that a shot. It's going to go on this rail right here. It should be in tomorrow, and I'm going to put that on. I'm going to show you guys what I think about it, and we'll see if it works. It says it's like a 4 MOA or 40 MOA. I can't remember exactly. I'd have to look it up, but allegedly they can get pretty accurate. So that's the gun I shoot currently right now. Looking for sponsors. But it's a great gun. I mean, to be completely honest, bare bones, no BS. It's a good gun. It works. Every time I put a shell in it, it'll eject it, and I don't want to, you know, ruin anything on it, and jinx it. But I've had really good luck with it. Every hunt, if I can, for the most part, I always bring it in the house. I never leave it in my car. When I travel, you know, try to keep it in, you know, a decent temperature. A lot of people say, well, if you leave them in your car when you go out hunting and then you take it out, you know, the temperature difference can affect things. And here's where I agree with that. All my ammunition, I like to keep warm. You know, obviously you have either a pouch or somewhere where you like to keep your ammo. I like to keep, like, my next 3 shots, I always like to put them in my pocket. And, you know, they get a little bit warmer than what it's naturally at, the outside temperature. And I don't know if that necessarily works or helps you, but my shells are just a little bit warmer than where we're hunting, and I think that helps a lot, especially when it's cold. You know, you kick it and get some snow on it, and that's not good to go in your gun, or you drop one in the mud, and that's not good for your gun. So what I like to do is when, you know, opening day comes, or day I'm going hunting, I go out, and it's time to hunt, load my 3, and then I take my next 3 and I just throw them in my pocket. And that's a really good little tip. You should try it this year if you can. You don't have to put a box in your chest. That's obviously not going to work. But well, it's inconvenient because you're in the moment. No, guys, like I'm telling you, you throw your 3 in your pocket. They'll stay warm and stay true. Another thing I carry is a boar snake. I carry a boar snake and a little bit of oil. Don't tell me you haven't been hunting and you didn't slip and fall in your waders and smacked your gun in the mud, or, you know, brushed it on some mud or something, and, you know, it just looks terrible and it's all cruddy. It's something nice to have. You know, you can unload your gun, take a stick and unplug it to the best of your capability or something, and then you just take that boar snake and just run it through a couple times. It's clean. You're good to go. And that don't carry no weight, and you just fold it up and put it in your bag with a little oil, little Ziploc bag if you want to make sure it doesn't spill, whatever, and you're good to go. And that was pretty much last 2 seasons is when I started to develop a lot better shot pattern, a lot better consistency with the number of birds that I was encountering and killing versus the number of birds I was encountering and missing. And that's something that I wouldn't say a lot of people don't know, but a lot of people try to do better on, but, you know, some find yourself a little stumped, and I was too. I was getting really skeptical. I didn't know what I was doing. And when I realized, like, hey, if you're more consistent with what you do, aside from the things that you can't change, you're going to get better, because if you practice something, you know, it's like basketball. You got a basketball and you got a hoop. If you stand in the same spot every time in practice, you're probably going to get better. Well, in an instance, it's better for hunting. If you shoot the same gun, if you try to shoot the same ammo, if you try to shoot the same distances, you're going to get a little consistent. Obviously, waterfowl hunting is a tough sport, and it is, you gotta be kind of a sharpshooter, and you can't always get lucky every time, and you got to learn how to lead birds and how to aim and not or just point and shoot and do the best thing you can. But you can set your decoys in the way that you get that same distance almost every time. Now, obviously, the birds can just jump right on top of you or land out far away, and you can't control that. But if you try to put your spreads out at relatively the same distance that you're going to be away from them at the same time, you're going to be a little more consistent. That 20 yard, that 15 yard every time. You can always move your decoys out. And if you can't, you can always move yourself back. And if you can't, then you're gonna try something new, and you're gonna learn to repeat that and maybe get better at that, because everything's a learning curve, obviously. So I shoot the same choke. I don't take it out. It's just an extended modified. It's nothing fancy. At about 30 yards, it's what it would be at 20 yards with a modified. So I gained 10 yards. The only reason why I have that on there, I'm not a sky buster. I will not shoot birds super high. I won't. I haven't. I have. Everybody has. Don't lie. You've done it. Long time ago. I mean, I'm not taking wild goose shots or whatever, but the only reason why I have that on there is I shoot 3-inch shells. I don't have a complex about my 3-inch shells. I've killed geese with it, dropped them cold dead before they hit the ground. I've killed ducks with it cold dead before they hit the ground. The only reason why I have that is it just keeps my pattern a little bit tighter for the geese. I don't switch over to double BB. I mean, whatever I've got is what I'm going to use, and I try to buy the same stuff. I really, really do. 2-shot. I shoot everything with 2-shot. When I try to shoot geese, I try to shoot closer. I try to let them get as close as they can. I know what I can shoot, and I know what I can't. And I'm not trying to throw luck into any of that. So when I'm taking an animal's life, I take it seriously in the aspect that I'm not going to make shoddy or poor judgment shots and wound an animal. I mean, obviously they can be 5 feet in front of me and you can just clean miss. You get excited. But I've noticed that when I shoot, I mean, even if we do get a box of double Bs every once in a great while, it's still only in 3-inch. And I haven't found in Oklahoma goose hunting being just something I've done strictly like I did in Colorado, where duck hunting was kind of like, yeah. And then goose hunting came, and I got a little bit more hooked onto the goose hunting for a little while, and the ducks were just kind of there, so, shoot them. But it's helped a lot as far as judging how I'm going to shoot, because I know what my pattern looks like at 20 yards on paper. And I know what my pattern looks like on 20 yards with this choke. And I know what it looks like with the type of ammo I buy. And I buy a very common brand ammo. And that's another thing, guys. You guys out there buying Black Cloud and Kent's and, all these specific ammos, if you're not buying in bulk and you're only buying a box or two at a time and you run out and go to the store, what are you going to buy? Well, obviously what's on the shelf that's going to work. But I will be the first one to tell you that it's going to be different. Not maybe in the aspect that it's going to be super, super different, but Remington Supersonics or Hypersonics 2-inch is definitely a lot different than Winchester Expert 2-inch shot, 3-inch chamber. It's a different pattern. I promise you. I mean, you can hook a gun down onto a mount and not move it, and pull the trigger, and it's in the exact inch spot on paper with the exact same choke, with the exact same. You're going to get different patterns. But when you get these really high, not name brand shells or not name brand, when you buy an ammunition that is massively produced and it's so big, in my opinion, I've gotten more consistency out of it. I've shot Winchester Experts And I mean, don't get me wrong, I've shot Black Cloud, and I've shot Kent's, and I've shot Academy's brand, and I've shot Walmart brand. I've shot a lot of different types of rounds, and I'm not saying one's better than the other in the aspect that, you know, you pay for what you get. I don't think $3 a shell is worth it for me, because I can kill a duck just as easily with like a 50-cent shell or a dollar shell. That's just my opinion, and that's what I like to spend that money on, and that's what I can afford. I can't afford to spend $53 on a box of shotgun shells. I think it's completely ridiculous. But then again, everything has its purpose. If you're going on that once-in-a-lifetime guided hunt in Alaska or Canada or wherever, and you're trying to shoot this band, or you're trying to shoot, you know, whatever, and you see the fit and going all out and buying all the fancy, I don't know if you're going to get more for what you pay for than what you've already used and you know. So keep that in mind too when you're buying your fancy ammos and your fancy loads, and because this stuff gets expensive. And I mean, unless you're a multi-millionaire and it don't matter, money don't matter, then buy the most expensive whatever every single time just because you can, and that's fine. But I don't buy it because I don't know what you would say, not poor, but like cheap. I'm not cheap in the aspect like I'll spend the money if it's worth it, but I've killed geese with Black Cloud, and I've killed geese with Expert Shot, and, you know, Heavy Shot. I've shot Heavy Shot too, and my gun doesn't like Heavy Shot. I don't know why. It cycles it or whatever. I just don't prefer it. I don't know why. A lot of people swear by it. It works. If you hit the bird in the right spot, you know, it's gonna drop. And it comes down to you being a marksman and you being a good shot and you putting that BB where it needs to go. Because it only takes one, folks. I don't know if anybody told you. It only takes one BB to kill a bird. And you get it right in the head or right in the right spot or right in the heart, wherever. I mean, some of them have however many, and some of them have a lot more. Some of them have a lot smaller. I mean, there's a lot we can get into with that. But the point of it all is what my dad always told me. It only takes one BB to kill him. And he's right. You got a chance. So as long as you got a chance, you're doing the right thing. So that's what I use. That's what I've been using, and that's what I'm going to probably use this season, unless I run into a nice bonus somewhere on something and I maybe upgrade a little bit to something different. Now, again, that wouldn't be the best choice this season, because I have been pretty consistent with this gun, and I have shot really well with this gun, and this gun doesn't kick. It just doesn't. I mean, I put 3-inch shells in it, and it really doesn't. I put my nice Drake down coat on, and I don't notice it. I will not shoot 3.5s. I don't see the point. For all you guys out there that swear by them and you're shooting 55 yards away, good for you. Keep it up. Hope you guys slam. That wasn't sarcasm. I really do. But you know, I want them close, and I like a nice light load, and it does the trick for me. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. If you liked what I was talking about, go ahead and leave me a like. It'll help get this channel going a little bit. And working on getting a drone. We're working on getting some more GoPros and making better footage for you guys. So it all helps and goes towards the cause of, you know, what I put into this is what I want to put back into this and keep this going. Like I said, I'm not trying to get rich off this. I'm just trying to put out some good content and something different for you guys, so you can see what I'm doing. And hopefully in hopefully in a week, we got a week, we'll be out in the woods and not on the porch. So, Millennial Waterfowl out. Hit that subscribe button.